Hello and welcome back to another episode of Warp, the completely unnecessary Star Trek podcast where we do unasked for audio commentary to Star Trek episodes. My name is Sean.
My name's Matt.
I'm Jake.
Philippe.
Aaron.
Minwin.
Special guest,
Woo.
May is back, and Min is back.
Oh,
we missed you, Min,
Yeah.
last week.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here last week.
Let him in.
You missed the episode that the episode aired on 420,
Yeah.
and it was season 4, episode 20.
And it was a Q episode.
It was. You missed a good one.
No, man. Well, I had good excuses, guys.
It's all good.
That's all right. We're just happy to see
We're
you.
glad you're back.
This is a good one, too.
Yes.
Although less fun.
Yeah, it's a good episode,
All right,
but
factoring that into
it's
my
not as
IMDb.
much- not visually fun.
You know, the last one was Robin Hood. It was a romp.
Oh yeah, there were fun
This
hair.
one's
wearing
a,
outfits?
But that one-
legal
This one's a
thriller.
legal
That one was
thriller.
slightly more eviscerated.
What's it called?
It's called The Drumhead.
The Drumhead, season 4, episode
Sure.
21. I've got some amount of time on the clock.
45,
43, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
It's actually punching an X
Oh, wait.
on that controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is a different interface. What is this? Is this a
Wait,
is
that's
this not
called
Netflix
X-ray.
anymore?
No, they took
oh,
it off
yeah.
Netflix, so now we're
Big
watching
changes.
it on
Big
Paramount
changes,
Plus.
man.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime
Netflix
now.
can't get anything right these days. Did you guys see that it fell like
Yeah,
Yeah, I did see that.
50%?
Why don't you kick a man while
I
he's
still
down?
like my Netflix.
I like Netflix too. I'm just saying they're having a hard.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is going to come out pretty soon, and then everybody
They'll
will be
bring it
like,
back.
we love Netflix.
Yeah, we need Stranger Things and Squid Game too.
I don't think I want Squid Game 2. I loved Squid Game.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the need for more of it.
I
Like,
totally agree with you. I just think that Netflix is.
oh,
do
yeah.
that.
They're definitely doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Unless I hear that, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be.
No.
I think
It'd be hard to be.
I think
Squid Game
that
too.
first season just had a perfect
Yep.
story arc, and there's no need for more.
Everything. If they do it again, it's just gonna feel redone.
It's just going to be about him going after the masterminds of
Yeah.
the Squid
But
Game.
they have to get the games in there. Like
Right.
they're gonna have to.
They'll do
shoehorn
the
that.
same thing they did in the Hunger Games, where in the second Hunger Games it was a bunch of winners.
Yeah.
Right,
They'll
it was
do
an
that.
all-star.
They'll
Tournament
do that
champions,
again.
yeah.
They'll do an all-star season of
Yeah.
Squid
That's
Game.
what they
is
did
I'm
in
saying.
the escape room game. Yeah, and Drag Race. It's always like.
Do you like the escape room movies? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about. I do.
Okay, can we talk about the escape room? I have not seen the second one.
Okay,
But the first one
It's good.
is an unexpectedly terrific movie.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
They're
Oh,
very
yeah.
elaborate.
I want to say
So
the
much fun.
rooms are so creative.
Yep.
Like
'Cause I like a good escape room, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's fun.
really liked that movie way more than
This
I
is a
thought I was
movie
going to.
about
Yeah.
escape
a
rooms?
horror movie
Yeah,
about
but they're high
escape rooms.
stakes. People
High
die.
stakes.
You
Yeah.
die.
It's like Saw.
It's like
Yeah.
Saw.
No.
I mean, there's some Saw.
It's more, but it's
much more creative.
It's more about
fun.
the room.
Yeah, it's
and
much more
like-
fun.
Saw movies are very like about
Grotesque.
the gory,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
This movie was more about like just
Clever.
like the fun, clever. Like how are they going to get out of this one?
Now,
Or
I want to
get
say that
Saw,
like so I had never.
I heard the second one was really good.
Yeah, the second one is good. The
Oh,
rooms
what's
are
going
amazing.
on?
Oh,
Warp
my God.
is getting busy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys Star Trek song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I just want to say one quick thing
Yeah,
that
tell me
first of
about
all,
Escape Room.
yeah, escape room. First game is amazing. Escape room is amazing. All the sets are amazing and definitely very good.
Yeah.
Also, and just generally, escape room 2, the escape rooms are even in some ways even better. So just like that's worth it. And then I was gonna say a thing about Saw in the Saw defense because I had the exact same feeling that I do not ever want to watch Saw, and it's just about to go. And then I saw Saw.
Sasa.
I see Saw.
Sure.
I see Saw, and it is a lot more like an escape room movie than I thought, and it was a
Yeah.
lot more tension building than it was gore than I thought it was, and I was very pleasantly surprised having almost having
Low
to force myself
expectations.
to watch it.
Yeah.
So I
This
just
was just
But
the
I
first
think
Saw.
that that's more. I think that they get more and more
Probably.
Yes.
as they go.
But I've
along.
heard the first two are like
Because the first one is
least
more of just
gory.
like a locked room, like
Yeah.
mystery kind of a thing.
yeah.
But I feel like once they start being all about the kills and
Yeah.
all about
Yeah.
the traps,
Yes.
It gets too much.
They're not
Yeah.
interesting.
But I'm just
anymore.
gonna say that Saw 1 and to a lesser extent Saw 2 are.
All right, fair enough. We've
Or-
heard
Do you want to
your-
hear the double feature that this man?
We heard it.
heard.
Sing to, saw to.
I mean, it's pretty great. Sing 2 and Saw 2 in one night.
I mean that I would go to a movie theater.
Yeah.
Right? They should just start
I'd
I'd like
pairing
to
them.
see who would see that. What would the crowd
You'd be
of
an
that?
engaged-
But
Interesting
which one
crowd.
should you should you do the Sawtooth first, really, and then
No. I think
You
you
gotta
do
work
sing
your
to
way up.
Sing
Sawtooth.
to first.
Sing to Sawtooth. That's what we did.
Because it doesn't sound as good if you say
Sawtooth,
sawtooth, sing to.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't have the right flow.
What is
It's not
Sing
as
2?
good.
Sing to is like an animated.
I think if you say sing to sawtooth, you're gonna get accused of being like racially insensitive or something. Like it just sounds wrong.
like you're making up a language.
Yeah, that's vaguely Asian. I don't know. It was a good double feature. Sing 2 is a animated show where they do singing and dancing, very like poppy.
It's got Bono.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's got
all the
Bono.
music is very good. I mean, the singing and all of that is
Bono
very.
and ScarJo do a duet.
And it's good.
See, that does not make me want to see that.
Yeah.
Well,
good
you're,
I
the
agree.
thing is that it's a
Look at
it's
her.
an animal ScarJo, so you're not as like it's not so.
It's more Bono that I was.
Real quick,
he sounded
this lady
great.
has Georgia O'Keeffe collars all day in this episode.
Whoa.
I like it.
There.
Nice.
Look at
That's,
that big pole thing too.
Yeah, that's.
You can
Yeah.
get that
Talking
shit off
about.
easy.
That's a door knocker.
It's a suggestion.
Yeah, she doesn't knock her between her knockers.
That's Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
That is.
Wait, from the rock band?
Yes,
Kiss.
it's
Yes.
Gene Simmons from
Stick out
the
your
rock
tongue.
band.
He is a talented actor.
Look at
She can
I mean-
loop her.
He is fully believable as a
70-year-old
middle-aged
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
She can tongue. He can tongue that knot, that knocker from there.
Yeah.
From,
How do you think it gets tied?
how does it get tied? It's like goes in his mouth and like a.
So why doesn't
Cherry
someone
smack.
give us
What
a
is-
real
like-
story?
What is Gene Simmons' tongue like? How much longer? You know, I need.
Do we have some dimension?
Yeah. Do we have some dims on that?
I don't know. I'm sure it's been measured, but I don't know off the
Hit
top
the
of my head.
Googles for
Yeah.
I don't
thought
want to
they used-
Google it.
did
I
this-
don't want to know.
Okay.
He doesn't-
I just want to know.
You Google Gene Simmons' tongue, you get put on a list.
Yeah,
Just let it. Yeah.
you get on put on Gene Simmons'
Some
Christmas
questions
list.
are left unanswered.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, you are.
I just
Simmons
wonder how
still
much of
alive?
it is like length versus like
Yeah.
his ability to like
Totally.
Sort of print.
extend.
Have you seen that movie
muscle.
Venom? It's a lot like that.
Sean, why don't you give us the stats?
Oh,
You haven't done it yet.
Oh yeah.
well, we're watching The Drumhead. Original air date April 27, 1991. A retired admiral boards the Enterprise in an effort to determine the actions aboard the ship surrounding an act of sabotage and possible treason.
Old Sabo.
May,
Sabotage.
what do you think the IMDb rating of this episode is?
We're gonna go with an even 7.
Really?
Okay.
Classic.
Aaron?
I'm gonna say 7.6.
I was going to say that too.
I'll say 6'8".
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say 7.2.
Oh, look, he's got Earl
I'm
Grey
gonna go
tea.
8-1.
8-1. That's
No.
really high.
That's really high. It's
7-4.
8-3.
Yeah.
Philly.
Y'all said it was good, and then you were
Going
like
high.
lowballing
It is good, but,
Well, but it's
I have
the
no
You don't have the
confidence in
internet.
these
Yeah.
numbers. Like,
I agree. After all the times that we've done it,
It's not that good.
I just feel like it's so hard to predict.
It's just not.
I think this is a
This is a good episode.
good episode, and I
is.
think it's pretty widely considered one of the best ones.
It's a,
Like it
it's,
shows up on best episode lists all the
it's a
time.
thinky talky, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
can
It's a
you
thinky talky.
Very dramatic.
Sean,
Yes.
Gene Simmons, the non.
Yes, yes. This actress, Gene Simmons.
What else does she
How
do?
long is her tongue?
I remember her from
How
Guys
long
and
is her tongue?
Dolls.
She's famous. Okay, I just needed a reminder. I
She's
knew
in the
her
movie
from.
of Guys and
She
Dolls.
plays
Okay.
Yeah, I
Captain
knew she was
Sarah.
in movies.
just okay. This person and the famous rock and roll legend Gene Simmons are in a room together, and then how would you describe the plural of that? Is it Gene
Gene
Simmons?
Simmons?
Gene
Is it
Simmons.
Gene
Gene
Simmons?
Simmons.
Gene Simmons. Is it like attorneys general?
I think it is like attorneys general. I think it's Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought too.
No. But if there were multiple min wins in a room, you would say, oh, there are many min wins, not many mins win.
But that's an exception that proves the rule.
I think with Gene, it's Gene's. It's Gene Simmons.
Yep.
God, I hope it happens one
I
day.
think many men's do win.
Unfortunately, she's passed away.
Damn it.
So we drink to you, Gene Simmons.
Yay.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
She's terrific in this episode.
She is.
One of the great guest appearances, I think, on this show. This is a very, very well regarded episode of this show.
Yes.
It's classic Star Trek. It's got a message.
It's got a trial.
It's got a trial.
Yep.
And Worf is mad.
It's about like an analog to a real world. Like
Yeah,
it's a
it's
classic
Salem Witch
ethical
Trials.
episode.
Did they bring an office chair to the trial?
Yeah, that's just a regular office chair. It's got the levers.
You can see the lever.
You can see the levers and the dial on the bottom.
They went to Staples.
That is literally like just a random office chair from Offset.
They put like
So
handcuffs
on the day,
on
the
it.
director's like, "So you guys got a chair, right?" And they were like, "Oh no, fuck! We built the whole set. We forgot the chair.
Yeah.
Quick, go get one from the secretarial pool."
Yeah, there's a PA who standed the whole episode.
Yeah, you didn't get to sit down all day.
Damn it.
All week.
What is the trial about?
Okay, do you want to know what's going on?
Because it feels cool. Like
It is
Worf
cool.
is going off,
Yes,
and there's some good
please.
stuff going on.
It is cool. Who watched it?
I watched it.
I watched it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched it.
Not men.
Yeah, not me.
The
Not
typicals watched it.
The typicals watched it.
Whoopi's not in it, so Aaron didn't watch
Right.
it.
Yeah, sure. She's got excuses.
So there's been an accident. So there's sort of two things have happened in short succession. The first thing that happened is that this Klingon ambassador type who's come on the ship for a visit, they found him like sending secret messages back to the Empire. So they sort of realized he was a baddie.
Is that why Worf is doing some light
That's why
punching?
Worf was beating him up.
He's
earlier.
working with the Romulans.
Yeah.
And then, shortly after they figured that out, the warp engine blew up.
Bum, bum, bum.
And so their suspicion is that the Klingon worked with someone on the ship. That there's this traitor or a mole on the ship. And this one, Admiral Seti, is like a famous retired Starfleet admiral, and they've brought her out of retirement to head the investigation and try and find the mole on the ship.
It's sort of like
and she likes Worf because Worf's very much a Law and Order guy, you know. So she's put Worf in charge of like the prosecution. That's why he was the one asking the questions.
Ooh, I mean, we get Michael Dorn gets to do some stuff.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they have a common like sort of mind frame, you know. Worf's very much like
Did you do
Mr. Law and Order,
Yeah.
right? And she is too. So they've kind of help each other. He helps her in the investigation because they think along similar lines.
Does Worf play like a role as like a prosecutor in a trial where he's like interviewing? And because I don't see Worf as somebody who could like trap you. So at what time did you get to the ice cream shop? And then he's like,
The Perry
I mean, in the
Mason
scene that
moves.
we just saw where he was cross-examining him, he was basically just hurling accusations.
that's what I sort of see his style as that.
They say, you know you did it.
Why don't you just confess?
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's not going to be like,
I'd like to see a Matlock type show with that.
yeah.
Worf's
They
prosecutorial
need a
style
sci-fi
is to
Matlock.
just bully the witness into saying
Yeah.
something.
Michael Dorn said this is one of his two favorite episodes.
He's not
Nice.
Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Yeah.
Oh, this is directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yep.
Ooh.
Is this his first one?
No, he's done one,
He's done
at
a
least
couple
one
more.
other one.
Cool.
But
Jadan.
we'll also see him in the episode, right?
Oh, those old DOS boot up
Yeah.
screens. DOS
He's
boot.
not. He's in this episode, but he's not the focus of it.
Yeah.
It's really a Picard.
That's some
Worf.
shame
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
heavy Picard.
Yeah.
It's Picard with the subplot of Worf.
And
This
who's this
outfit.
dude?
This is the Admiral's assistant,
Oh, okay.
and so he and Worf are trying to figure out
What happened to the warp drive?
what happened to the warp drive. Data has. Did he already say it was an accident?
No.
Or has he?
No.
He hasn't said that yet.
No.
They find out later. It's just an accident.
Right. Right now they're thinking it's and this what this dude is saying to him is, at first thought you were probably the traitor because you're a filthy Klingon, but now I see that you're not that. So I trust you now.
Is he
Which is
one of
sort
the
of a
good
backhanded
ones?
compliment,
Yeah.
right? When he's basically saying, I just assumed because you're a Klingon that you were the traitor.
This is like what.
But luckily you're not. So I guess we can be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, and now we get
Classic
Beverly.
racism.
Yeah.
Do we get? It's like we get the whole cast.
Everybody gets like cross-examined in this episode.
Did the whole fake table just kind of like shift down when the guy put some weight on it? Because I thought I saw that a second.
Probably. I like the back. I like the backdrop
Oh, sure.
of that blue pattern.
Yeah, but we're very much like back into the very basic like swivel chair.
Yeah.
Wesley?
Chic.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
just-
right. It's a very utilitarian set. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be an interrogation room, essentially.
Yeah, it just.
Who the heck is
It
this?
still has a lot of
Because
unnecessary.
it's not the courtroom, because we see the courtroom later.
It has a lot of unnecessary pillars that block areas.
They're load bearing though.
Yeah, you got.
Load bearing.
Yeah. All that stuff, all that biomatter in the holodeck is right above them. So
They just had to they just had to find a place for the interrogation room, and it happened to be in the room that was also the pillar room.
Yeah.
They just had. Eventually, you run out of space.
Yeah. Even in the
and you have
giant-
to start making do.
Yeah. We didn't know we would need so many interrogation
Have
rooms.
his ears been modified?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank God.
No, he's been doing MMA a lot.
Yeah, he's got a cauliflower ear a little bit.
So this guy, who they're talking to right now, is like a medical tech. He works for Beverly, and one of his jobs was to like give the Klingon guy his shots, because what they've figured out is that the Klingon was using the shots to smuggle out the information.
Yeah.
So that's why they're trying to figure out who was giving him these shots.
Shots.
Shots. Oh, I'm gonna have a Jägermeister in a
Yeah.
No,
before this night is
Goldschlager.
over.
Yeah.
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
That's what I meant.
Two sides of the same
Well,
coin.
we're just waiting for Min to break out the destroyer.
No.
Yeah,
But that may
waiting.
be next week's
yeah,
episode.
yeah, I think so. That would be smarter, I think.
And
This
one
guy's
of these
got a
guys
real
is
punchable face.
Is he like a Betazoid or something? Does he?
Yeah.
Read people's
Yeah,
minds?
because at some point in time, I think Deanna like balls him out for.
Oh yeah, for using his powers.
actually, she calls him. She's like, "Hey, you have a Betazoid as your counselor."
That's
He's
right.
and she's like, "And you wouldn't listen if she
That's right.
said
So
something."
he's
and he's
a-
like,
so he is
"Yeah,
a
you're
Betazoid.
right. I probably would, but well, maybe I should think about that." They're just about to have that conversation.
Right. So at this point, Jean-Luc's cooperating because he doesn't have any reason to. But this is an episode about a witch hunt, right?
Yep.
It's an episode about the House Un-American Activities Committee. You know, it's about people abusing their authority. Because what's going to happen, Min, is that this
her.
investigation is going to expand and expand and expand, in the way that a small crime can, in the hands of the justice system, expand and expand and expand in fascist
Well,
ways.
the problem is that there actually was somebody doing something wrong.
Which
They caught.
right is the Klingon dude,
And
right?
so you're like, oh, well, to think that there couldn't be more, to it,
right.
it's easy to sell.
Well, it's because the explosion happens right after,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it feels connected
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
But once the scientists figure out
Once
that it
Data
was
is
a
like,
mistake,
nah, it was just a random fucking thing that happened.
she doesn't
These
give
old
up on it.
XR73 models, they always would fucking blow up.
And it's uncomfortable if you're dealing with that level of a nuclear reactor. Then sometimes they just blow up.
They just blow up.
Oh yeah.
That can't be a good thing.
No.
So Jean-Luc, even though he's not entirely... Ooh, there's the fish.
Yeah.
It's definitely there
Leonard.
this
Oh,
week.
it is.
He's not entirely comfortable with where this investigation is going because he doesn't think that she really has found any compelling
New
evidence.
Yeah.
But
can't quite shut
so
down.
now he's telling her, I'm not going to. She wants him to like throw the guy in lockdown or whatever, and Jean-Luc's like, I'm not going to do that until you have to. So they're slowly starting to like diverge in their approaches to this. At the beginning of the episode, Jean-Luc was all in because she's like this famous admiral. So he was really happy to like see her. But now he's getting a classic case of Jean-Luc's ethics,
Yep.
where he's starting to question.
That's a fun angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Jean-Luc is a big.
Yeah.
He loves an
Frakes.
ethical dilemma.
That's called a Frakes rake right there.
That's the Frakes Rick.
That's his Raimi monster cam.
He's trying to imagine what normal people height is, and that's what he's doing.
What is it like to look up to me?
Yeah.
So now this Jordy and Data are telling everybody it was an accident. False alarm. Call off the investigation.
Yeah.
Case closed. And Admiral Satie
all
is
fired
going to
up.
be like,
She doubles down.
Yeah, she's fired up.
she's like, I do not believe that this was just an accident. Even though Data and Jordy, two experts in the field, are
Very
telling
impartial
her.
on Data, we would assume.
Right, Data's literally can't lie or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm still suspicious of that weird kid who works in sick bay.
Could you see his ears?
Did you see how he had a little pointy point to his ears?
Yeah.
That's just MMA fighting, bitch.
And he's like backing her up because he's like, the kid's hiding something.
Who is the stenographer? Is that?
That's another one who works for her.
Yeah, she's like a personal assistant type.
With
She's
the,
got some good ridges on her forehead.
Yeah.
I like her.
she
I
reminds
like
me
her
of
look.
You like the
Seems
hair? You like the
competent.
little buns in the back?
Yeah.
You don't see a dual bun
No.
often.
It's funny, she like doesn't look at the pad at all, but she types away on it.
Yeah,
She's
she
just
did-
looking completely
Yeah.
away.
She's like a shorthand.
She's a
you
stenographer.
know?
Yeah.
I mean,
She don't have to
How
look
they,
at the keys.
how they typewrite on those things that have like 3 keys that move.
Court stenographers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Have you seen the new thing they do?
No.
Where they have basically like a mask they yell in.
what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they like so they now they because
They record
if you've been
themselves or
watching the Johnny Depp.
No, I have
Ever-
not.
There's a woman that looks like she's in like looking in a barf mask. It's a
She just
tube.
yells into
and
it?
she, I guess she talks into it and it transcribes so she can keep
Oh,
up.
it's even faster.
So she's repeating what she's hearing
Yeah,
but she's
instead
like-
of typing
She's
it.
like right next, like as far away as I am, and so she has to talk into the.
But she's whispering into a microphone that's transcribing
Yeah.
her words.
Sounds more
wraps
like a
around
barf
her
tube.
mouth.
Why do you
But-
need the middleman? Why not?
Do you
just-
think it's always
why
gonna
not
wrap
just
around
put
a mouth?
Johnny
Recording.
Depp's?
Well, you got to put that on everybody then, right?
Yeah,
But everybody who talks is going to talk into the same microphone.
Yeah. I agree
we've
with.
got
We're
6
recording
microphones.
ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
need stenographers.
I think
to
we do,
translate.
you guys.
yeah. I think we. That's what I was. That was my
Oh, yeah.
subtle way of saying I've spent our entire budget on hiring a stenographer.
During my brief and unimpressive career as a baby lawyer, I loved watching the court stenographers. It's so
Yeah.
amazing the way that works.
I just thought it looks so funny with this device. It looks like
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think I would think typing would be quieter and easier. Like it's worked well all this time.
Yeah.
Why switch? That seems like it's solving a problem that doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
I guess they're just too slow. I don't. But it's so weird to think that you're saying something and then I'm saying it like
And I'm saying it like
yes, right?
yes, right.
It's just you would feel like it was very distracting, even in my own head, you know. And then how do you deal? And you feel like a schizophrenic when they're having a conversation with yourself to yourself in the thing.
Stop it! Stop it! I can't deal.
No,
with
that's
that
what it
anymore.
would be like.
Yeah.
But doesn't it drive you crazy? a
Yes,
little
I
bit?
hated doing it.
And when five different people are talking, and would you do a different voice for them?
Oh, that's even more interesting.
Oh, wow.
Then it becomes like an audiobook.
Yeah. Are you doing a little audiobook of exactly what you heard a few seconds ago? And can you hear
I wonder if they have like a keypad or something. Like they punch like witness.
Yeah.
And then it tags it as witness, and then whatever they say after that.
I bet it has
is witness.
also. I could
Somebody's
just
gonna have to look into this.
Yeah.
This is
Maybe
gonna be a
someone with the
corrections
computer
corner
in front of
fodder
them.
for 2026.
Nah, I don't like to do live. I don't like to do it live.
No.
I
I'm
like
just
to let
saying.
it simmer
We'll
for a
find out
couple
in
of
about
years.
5
I'm saying
years.
I like to
You're-
let it simmer for a couple of years and then bring it back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a correction corner. Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was expecting.
Could I look it up right now? Yes.
No, I don't.
But I ain't
just-
gonna.
No.
I just made most
We
of it.
missed this beautiful scene where
Uh-huh.
He's a little old
he's
to be
yelling at the
assistant.
guy because he's got big pointy ears.
Jake, did you like this episode?
It was a little talky.
It's very talky.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good Star Trek. I just wasn't through. I was like, I'm not gonna remember this one.
I like the
I
talky
enjoyed
ones.
it. I enjoyed it.
I like the ones.
I actually didn't fall asleep during it.
No.
and that is
Surprising.
that is actually the
High praise.
I mean, it's the definition of it's a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
You know, it's binary. Did I stay awake through this or did I not?
I enjoyed her colors the most.
Yeah.
Her colors are
Great
amazing.
I think she's really good in this episode. I think
Yeah.
she's a really
And like
good.
the thing is, so
She's
like
a good foil for Jean-Luc.
Well, she's a
Yeah.
great Star Trek guest star because she's just like goes for it.
yeah.
She goes to 10 and just revs that
And then
engine
just
the
goes way
whole
past him.
time.
Man, look at all the mustard
well, and
shirts.
so she kind of already has a relationship with Picard before she arrives. Like he
Yes.
knows about her. She's
She's
met
famous.
before.
Yeah.
And the way he kind of appeals to her is like her dad was like a really well-known admiral and did a lot of this stuff. And so when he tries to appeal to her, he's just like, what would your father think? But her reaction is so kind of like dark and just like, I'm doing what he would want. You got to think there's probably some weird kind of like dark family stuff
Sure.
in her background, like
Oh,
very
yeah.
like
Could be.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Like maybe
At-
they're not. Maybe it's not as.
Yeah,
Sure.
like her
nice as
reverence
it
for
would-
him
right.
has
Maybe
some
he wasn't as
weird-
great a person as everyone
Yeah.
thought he was.
There's
has
there-
some weird dark
there's a
Hey,
undertones.
they're explaining the title of the episode right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Jean-Luc's explaining what a drumhead trial is. To
but it's a witch hunt.
I feel like I
in
remember
Salem.
when I first watched it, like, oh, that's what a Drumhead trial is.
yeah, I didn't know. I learned that from this episode.
Yeah.
I did not know that before that.
I had never heard the phrase before.
I'd heard the phrase, but I'd never thought about where it came from.
Oh.
It's not a crime, Worf. Yeah.
Picard's getting angry.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
starting.
Picard is starting to smell some bullshit.
See, he what he's trying to do is Worf is kind of on the Admiral's side, right?
Yeah.
And Picard is just trying to remind him, like, whose side he should be on.
Like
This-
And
they have guarantees
Yeah.
in the
they
Federation.
don't have. They don't have it.
Guarantee. You will have the rights that the Federation can provide, mommy.
How long did you wait on that one?
That was that right
That was
then.
right there.
Well, there's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
It was.
Off the dome.
that was off the dome.
I did not remember that guarantees were in this episode. I promise.
They have, Jake.
Who was the guy who said I guarantee? He was like a famous French,
yeah.
like a Cajun chef,
Paul
like
Prudhomme.
Paul Prudhomme or something like that.
yeah.
You gonna love it, I guarantee.
Guarantee.
He was from Nolans.
Did they juice up the nacelles in these visuals here?
I don't think so. They look basically the way they always look.
I looked up this guy, this kid.
Yeah,
Dude is in everything.
really.
Yeah.
Like
but,
still
but
working.
like a guest star, co-star.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
It's one of those guys who's been on
legacy.
every show.
Yeah. He's been in 2 Marvel movies, but both uncredited.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I don't know if that means you're a bridesmaid. If you're not, you're just
Uncredited is like you're a guest at the wedding, but they put you way in the corner.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, is he?
Oh.
Yeah,
That's a recent movie.
He plays
Ish.
Alan Kincaid.
Okay.
Everyone's like, yeah. Oh.
Yep.
He's
Look at all
in,
the plants in Jean-Luc's
he's
quarters.
in the Winning Time, the
that new
HBO show
Lakers
about the
show?
Lakers,
No.
the '80s Lakers.
I have no interest. I have no interest in watching that show.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan, and I have no desire to watch that show.
But it's hilarious to me how all of the actual Lakers are all coming out and dunking on it. And being
Yeah.
like, nobody even asked us like what it was like. And they're all like, this is terrible. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote like an impassioned op-ed in the
Yeah.
LA Times. Like,
Yeah.
Against it?
Yes.
Oh,
He was
wow.
like, this is terrible. This isn't what it was like at all. Kareem and Magic both have come out and said that.
That's hilarious. Way to go, filmmakers.
It's a Adam McKay
Yeah.
joint.
I feel
It's
like
this
But
guy's fault.
my point is, wouldn't the first thing you do if you're the
Yes,
guys who make that
absolutely.
show
Ask
is
these people.
loop in as many of these still
Yeah, there's a lot
alive
of people
as
alive
possible?
still.
If only so that you have. They're not going to give you bad PR when the thing actually comes out.
I think
you
the-
want them to feel like they're
Part of it.
part of it so that they're not going to do what just happened. And 2 of the most famous basketball players ever said, we hate this.
Yeah, I think maybe the person making it was kind of like, I know they're not gonna like this. There's no point trying to like get them
for
in.
forgiveness later.
Yeah,
Because it's a lot of what? Sex and drugs.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
imagining.
sure.
yeah, they're gonna try to like.
they're all doing cocaine all the time.
So you're saying it's understandable that they would be
They're
upset with their
we
portrayal.
don't care. They're gonna talk shit about it. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm just saying like you might sort of anticipate like.
No such thing as bad press.
Why bother trying to win them over?
yeah,
They're
'cause
never
you're just
going
gonna
to
get a bunch of opinions saying
It's like trying to make a Fleetwood Mac movie. You can never get all 5 of them.
And it's not a documentary,
to agree
so
to their portrayals.
they're just gonna be like, there's so many big egos. Every one of those people that you would talk to is gonna have some amount of ego and
Their-
want to have a
their
certain
own
amount of
version.
input.
I
that
have an
story.
amazing idea for a Fleetwood Mac biopic that I've had for years, and I just know it will never get made because those 5 people, they can't even be in the same room together, much less all agree on
Do it.
how they're being portrayed in this
It's gonna have to be an
movie.
unauthorized movie. You're just gonna have to go and write it.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
A Fleetwood Mac like band story.
Fleetwood Gold.
Fleetwood.
Do you
Go.
have a cast in mind?
Well,
Yeah. Cast it.
so Stevie is the most important.
Sure.
Yeah.
The hardest one to get
course.
right. The others are all equally important, but she's the one you absolutely have
She's the
to
one
She's
you
the
kind of
most. She's the most singular.
you,
right.
you
She's
follow
the most
her.
distinctive
Yes.
one,
Yeah.
and
Everybody
she's
knows
the
her.
one that everybody knows exactly what she looks and sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So I think that would be, I think that's the crucial one to
Yes.
get
Any thoughts?
correct.
Any?
I kind of thought, do you guys, there's this actress named Lily Rabe who was on American Horror Story when they actually
yeah.
had Stevie Nicks on one
She's like a
season.
Broadway person.
She's a Broadway person. She was in this season of American Horror Story, and she did Stevie Nicks in the episode that Stevie Nicks was actually in, playing
And it
herself.
worked.
And she was so good at it that she immediately shot to the top of like, oh, she should play Stevie Nicks in the Stevie Nicks biopic. She's not like a huge name, but it could be one of those things where it's like,
Stars Born.
you become famous because of this thing that you do in this movie. This completely fictional movie that I will never.
Right.
That's never
That's
going,
never
to,
going to
happen.
happen.
Mickey Dix. The
But yeah, I think it would. I think that would be such a good movie.
Mickey Dix, the Beatwood back.
Who would be your Lindsey Buckingham?
See, all you need is like a tall, like skinny guy, right? Who's intense.
Is
could
it
be-
Bill Hader play him?
It could be any like young
Stephen Merchant.
tall guy. No, they have to be young. They were like in their 20s when this all happened.
Yeah.
They should just play themselves.
Well, yes.
That I would watch.
I would watch that.
They go back to their
Oh, my
20s.
God.
No, I just want to see them playing themselves
Yeah.
as young people.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
I want to see 70-year-old Stevie Nicks play 22-year-old Stevie Nicks.
They can do
No
that.
CGI, just like
Oh, no
regular.
CGI?
No, I want to see.
No.
Yeah.
They have that stuff where they use the actual person's face though, and they just
Yeah, like
I
that
think
Will
it's
down.
Smith
so great.
movie.
She's just playing herself. Like
That stuff
Agreed.
always just looks a little bit
I
wrong.
would, have,
They would never agree to it.
I would go see that in a second.
Yep.
well, they can't even. They kicked Lindsay out of the band for the third or fourth time.
Philippe,
so.
doesn't that
yeah.
coat trip off your tryptophan or
No,
tryptophobia?
for
Your
some.
tryptophan.
My tryptophan.
Do you want to just take a nap right now?
I do want to take a nap. I don't know why that one is not
Really?
quite enough.
It's symmetrical.
There's something
All those-
mathematical.
Are we
about it.
failing to hold your attention? You're already thinking about naps.
What happened? Ooh, is that
it
a
is
baby?
a talkie one.
It's a little baby.
Baby ships.
Sorry, I just saw Free Willy, and it was very reminiscent.
Oh yeah, this.
Oh,
is the guy.
look who's on now with her.
Look who's got the columns behind
Look
him
who's
now.
in the office chair.
And now there's like an audience. There wasn't any
Yeah.
audience earlier.
Oh, now this trial's getting big. Hey, have you heard about the trial, Captain?
Heard captain's on trial.
So there's the bigwig.
There's
him.
that guy.
That guy.
You got.
Tell he's a bigwig.
He's got a lot of the secrets on his lapels, so you know he's.
He's got
This-
that I'm disappointed in everybody in this room look on his face the whole time.
So here it is. I mean, I wish you could hear this because he is absolutely
Picarding it.
a Picarding
Oh
it.
yes.
Picarding it hard.
This is where they get all the
Picard.
points in for this episode.
This is when Patrick
is the
Stewart
moneymaker.
gets to do what he does best, which is deliver a fucking speech about our better
Moral
natures.
ethics.
Yeah, and appealing to our higher natures. He is so good in this scene. If it was any other genre, he would have won an Emmy
Yep.
just for this. But they don't give Emmys. They didn't used to give
Not
Emmys
even a
to
very
shows like
special
this.
facts of life.
And all in a regular old office chair.
Yep, and he's doing it all in a chair they got at Office Max
Yeah.
down the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is not rethinking sitting.
yeah.
That is the opposite of re-sitting thinking.
He's sitting thinking. Yeah.
That's just sitting. And
Yeah.
like how we always do.
Can you imagine giving this speech on that giant lollipop
That
chair?
is what he's talking about right now.
Yeah.
He's talking about chairs.
Yeah.
You guys weren't reading the subtitles.
Yeah.
But he's actually describing.
He's like, do you think
rethinking
that the images behind me in the negative look like a giant balls and a cock? Because if you do, we're on the same page.
I have a correction that involves balls and cock, but I think I'm gonna save
Oh,
it for
please
next
go
week's
on.
episode.
Please.
I think I'm gonna save corrections corner for
And
next
the
time.
guy is just like,
That guy is unhappy with
He's
people.
so important. He gets 0 lines, I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
you understand? Do
But
you kind of get the vibe
yeah.
of what's happening here?
Yeah, basically.
Her argument, her investigation has expanded because Jean-Luc tried to shut her down. He was like, "You've gone too far. This is enough." And as a result, she's like, "Oh, well, that means you're secretly the traitor, because only a traitor would tell me
That
to stop my investigation into traitors."
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It was relevant in 1991, and it's relevant today.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
But then
This is a
again,
very good episode.
beans
Where's
and carrots,
like-
beans and carrots.
where's the double bun girl?
They're throwing back at him like, here are times you violated the Prime Directive.
So here's a bunch of callbacks to earlier episodes where Jean-Luc has done things
Yeah.
that can be interpreted in a way against him. So they're describing the plots of earlier episodes, men. Including the biggest one of all, which is when he became a Borg and killed thousands of people while he was Borgified.
But I was Borgified.
So they're gonna throw that in his face again.
Just because they killed thousands of people. Jesus.
they're really hitting below the belt here.
They are. They're dragging every thing they can think of.
Yeah.
He's like, why you gotta bring up old shit?
Yeah.
And his crew is just like, oh man. See, like Worf even is just like,
Even
I'm
Worf.
back on your side
That's like
now.
you've gone too far.
Even Worf, who was the most on her side, has now sort of snapped out of it, thanks to his talking to from Jean-Luc earlier. He is like, this is gone too far.
Yeah.
Especially because they're also throwing racism into it, because
Yep.
the accusation against the kid from sickbay is that he has Romulan ancestors that that he didn't reveal when he applied to Starfleet, even though the pointy ears are kind of a giveaway. Something's going on.
MMA.
So that's the only thing he did bad, is he lied a little bit because he so wanted to be in Starfleet that he told a little fib, and now they're using that to like launch this whole thing. Because he didn't have anything to do with it.
Calling
He
him a
was
witch.
completely innocent.
Yeah. And she's still trying to find someone and accuse someone of conspiracy, even though they've told her it was an accident.
Right.
So,
That left her unconvinced.
yeah.
There's the meme. There it is.
Oh.
That moment where Jean-Luc leans down and rubs his forehead
Yeah.
is gift
That's crazy.
all over the internet.
And now I'm gonna think of nothing but dicks and balls. Thanks to Philippe.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Wait till you hear next week's
That's his
correction.
gift for the internet.
That's my gift for the internet.
I had never looked at the background before.
That's
but-
all I like.
Will is Jean-Luc's lawyer, right? He's the on the other
Yeah.
side of the
Here it
admiral.
comes. Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
He just
He
quoted
invoked
her
her father,
father
yeah.
against her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's gonna be brutal in any circumstance. Don't quote my father to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's never good.
Yeah, none of us would like our fathers quoted.
I mean,
about us.
basically, what he's doing is walking up to her and saying, "I knew your father, and your father didn't love you."
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
And she's losing it in front of everyone.
It's kind of like the end of Inherit the Wind, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
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 she's
Yeah.
been
totally.
exposed to be the things that she actually hates, right? She has become the things she hates. Because she always thought of herself as this very like good person
Yeah.
who
Fought for justice.
fought for
and-
justice, and now she's learning this lesson, and the guy just
He's
walks
just
out.
walked out.
He's like, I can't believe I came all the way over here. This
He's like, we're gonna pretend none of this ever happened.
Well,
So much side eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Even like
Riker's
the leaning
unhappy.
tower of
Riker doesn't
Riker
look
right
happy.
there.
He always looks happy.
oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, she knows. She
She's
knows.
got a slow sit.
Yeah,
That's a really good slow
I was
sit.
in Inherit the Wind
that
in
was
high
an
school.
excellent slow set.
That was. I mean, she's still sitting.
Speaking of
shoulders were
rethinking
still-
sitting,
Yeah.
Dude.
There's some excellent sitting in
this
this.
episode also has really good sitting.
Yeah. That's really,
On top of its other virtues,
Yeah.
we might be the only podcast ever to think about how people sit in this episode.
well, they do. I mean, we need to rethink it.
I think it's a great.
I think that book has
that's
opened our
great-
mind.
I think that's the hook that this
Oh,
podcast.
even the stenographer.
The hook that this podcast has been lacking for the last 4 years
Yeah.
is we need to only talk about what they're sitting on.
Well, the sitting market is huge, guys. Everybody's doing it. I saw my cousins; they were sitting, and I saw this guy across the street. Never seen him before. Sitting. I was like,
Sitting.
"What? Is everybody just like?"
It's the new standing.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Oh, we're sitting
It's
right
so
now.
much better than standing.
Hey, it only took 200 and some episodes, but we finally found our voice, guys.
Sometimes it takes these things a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So Worf has come to have a pensive stare session
Kiss a little
with
ass.
Jean-Luc. He's there to see who of us can stare out the window into space the longest.
Yeah.
I know who's gonna win.
This is another great Jean-Luc monologue. Right, Worf has come to apologize. Because he's realized they went too far. And Jean-Luc is warning us all how easy it is for justice to go
Well,
wrong.
I'm really glad we've heeded that warning as a society.
Yeah, I mean, things are pretty close to this now, right? Like, we basically live in a Star Trek The Next Generation utopia.
Yep.
Actually, what's funny about Star Trek Picard right now is that they did a time travel episode to basically now. And it's all about this entire season of Star Trek Picard has just been about how shitty 2022 is.
It's amazing.
They show up in the past and they immediately get busted by ICE, and like ICE is trying to deport them, but they don't know where to. It's crazy.
It's not too on the nose or not too.
It's very on the nose.
It's a nose on top of a nose.
It's 2 noses, Eskimo kissing, man. It's so nose heavy.
It is nose heavy for sure. But I like that about
Oh,
it.
it's amazing. That's what makes it amazing. Is
I'm
now
really
they're just
enjoying
like
it.
They just go there.
they're just like we're not apologetic
They were
about
like
this at all.
people tolerated the first season, but didn't love it, and so they were like, you know what, fuck it, let's just be crazy.
Yeah.
And so now they're throwing in little jokes where, like, you remember the guy in Star Trek 4 who has the mohawk and the beatbox,
Yeah, yeah.
and Spock
yeah,
pinches
on the
him
bus?
on the bus.
Yeah.
They bring him back.
That guy,
yeah.
that guy is in this season
have
of
an
Star Trek
interaction with
Picard.
him. It's amazing.
Same character, same actor,
Dressed
playing
exactly the same way.
Character dressed
Awesome.
exactly the same way.
Amazing.
That's an
It is
amazing.
absolutely
tie-in.
hilarious.
That's a good choice.
It's a good
We need to
callback.
get that guy in here.
I would love to talk to that
Oh.
guy. Did you know? I'm sure we talked about it when we watched the movie. That guy wrote that song. He wrote, "I hate you and I berate you."
Did he?
Yeah.
He wrote the song that you hear in that scene.
He's amazing.
He's a hero.
Oh yeah,
He is.
legend.
How do you pause?
The episode ended.
Yay!
Jean-Luc got to deliver some really great
You
dialogue.
got some speechifying done.
Yeah, but good
Good
Jean-Luc
speechifying.
Sure,
speechifying.
sure. Yeah.
Some hard Picarding.
Hard Picard.
And that's it. It all sort of worked itself out.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. He
We figured out what the rest of the podcast is going to be about.
Yeah. Chairs.
Sitting.
Do you think the guy could take?
Which do you think has more podcasts about it? Star Trek or Chairs?
I'm gonna say
Chairs.
No.
that's the wrong answer.
You think there are more chair
No,
podcasts?
John was-
There are
I think.
chair. It's
I think,
chair.
I think everybody that's into chairs has their own podcast.
If it's about
But
the
that's
chairs,
true of Star Trek as well.
if it's about the chairs in Star Trek, which column does it go in?
yeah.
It goes into chairs.
Okay,
My point
chairs.
is, I think that chairs is a
I think
less
that's a less
crowded field for
We're
us.
trying to
so
get it in a
into.
less flooded market.
Oh my god! And there's it's so popular.
And there's so much to
I'm
talk
on.
about.
So hot right
I'm
now.
on it. Right. I'm good. Let's. Do
I
this.
only flipped through Rethinking Sitting
Yeah.
by Peter Opsvig before we started recording.
And
That is not a joke. That
Yeah.
is an actual fact. So I'm really looking forward to getting into a deep dive.
And just in that
The next
little
episode of
as
the
the
chairs.
pages flipped in form of
Welcome to Chair.
yeah, those glimpses like an animation going by have changed my
If you flip through the book really fast, it looks like the chairs are moving.
yeah.
Are you guys? Did you go to Amsterdam before this?
You know the answer
Hey.
to that.
We went to Copenhagen, baby.
We're done.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Thank you all very much for listening. Please go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast to rate, review, and subscribe. You can email us at warpedthepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at warpedthepodcast. Our merchandise is at Lunar Flare. We are on Twitter at Warp Trek. I am at Host Warped. Min is at Wet Maynard for Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu live streams and podcasts. And you can go to patreon.com/warp to become a member and get access to early release episodes depending on who is doing the editing that week. Sometimes
I got it
it's
out.
early, sometimes it's not.
It was not too early this week.
And
Just right.
Bonus commentary tracks. Next week, a less good episode.
But it does have a great guest star.
Great guest star. It's got Lawaxana. Remember Troy's mother, Lawaxana?
Talk about
Aaron?
being turned up to 10. Ooh,
Yep.
Aaron's asleep.
I do remember that
There you are.
with the pupils.
Yep, we're gonna see her again, and we're gonna see a great classic, one of the great sitcom guys
yep.
of all time.
Tony Danza.
That's it.
Nope.
Guess what his name is?
Save it for next week. It's a cliffhanger.
No. Yeah.
Till next week. My name is Matt.
I'm Sean.
I'm Jake.
Aaron.
I'm Minwin.
I mean.
Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Good night.
Yay!
I'm Geralt.